Well, good morning, friends, and thank you for stopping by my home this morning. I am very happy to have you here, and I'm just going to take you with me for the first part of this video as I go around the house and do a few of my regular scheduled chores. This week has been just kind of a crazy busy week, and I filmed this earlier in the week. We still had a few nice summer-like days going on, and then other things happened, and I never got back to filming. I was going to figure out, some sort of day in the life type thing. But since I had the footage, I thought, well, I would just share a few things that are on my mind. And then we're going to move on in this video to more of a chatty type video. I've got a bunch of other little things to share with you too. But on this particular day, I was giving my house a little love. I think, when my kids left, of course, we're empty nesters now. And so the house doesn't get dirty or, out of sorts like it used to when you have a bunch of kids in the house. But every now and then it's like, it's time. I need to pull out the vacuum. I need to run laundry, change sheets, just do the things that make my house a home. And so that was my goal that day. As I was going through the house and taking care of things, I spent a lot of time just reflecting and thinking about many different things. One of those things was the peace. And I talked about that in last week's video, finding peace in our home and allowing the peace of God in our hearts and let that radiate through our home. A home that is loved, a home that is cared for, kept neat and orderly, tidy I believe is a peaceful home. I have been in homes where that does not exist and they do not feel peaceful to me. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. You can help me by making a comment what you think. But if there's a lot of chaos and confusion in the house, it does not make for a peaceful home. And part of being homemakers, I believe, is the need to create peace in our home. And one way to do that is to keep our houses clean, tidy, and organized to the best of our abilities. And I am not advocating perfection in any way. I have never been a perfectionist, so don't misinterpret that one. It is really just the doing the best that we can with those things as our goals. And there will be times in life, of course, things get out of whack, things don't get taken care of like you had wanted, things come up. It's not about perfection. I think it's just an overall mindset of always being aware that the house has important value and caring for it well. One of you ladies made the comment in a previous video about your home is your happy place. And I just loved that so much because that truly is my feeling, is my home is my happy place. I could spend days and days and never leave and it wouldn't bother me at all. Of course, life doesn't always work that way, but I really love my happy place, my home. On this particular afternoon, I was getting ready to barbecue some burgers. It was still kind of warm out, so I didn't want to heat up the oven. So hubby said he would barbecue burgers, which is what we did. And I was just kind of preparing for that. I usually make a big salad to go with our burgers. And so that's why I don't have tomatoes and lettuce and all that there. Anyway, once I had all that done, it was time for me to move outside and just kind of freshen up the front door area there. Lots of dust from the summer and wind blowing and things. I had that bucket of pine cones that I had brought home from Arizona because they were just so big and beautiful and so different from our fir cones, along with 2 bird's nests that my husband had found on the property, and of course some mums to kind of get in that fall mood. At that point, it was time to move my laundry through, and honestly, that was as far as I got with this day. And we're going to move on now to a new topic. Well, hello ladies, and as you can see, it's a few days later. Actually, it's several days later since I filmed that, and I just wanted to have a little bit of chatty time. I had actually intended to do more, and then something came up this week, and so I'm going to share about that with you guys and talk about giving ourselves some grace, which goes along with what happened, and a few other little fun things as we before we end this video. Right about the time that I finished filming that, maybe the day after or something like that, I really started to feel poorly. I had, just some congestion, and I started coughing, and I don't know why, maybe because I don't really get sick that often, that it didn't dawn on me that I'm like, oh, you're sick, But I was like, this is strange. And I just started feeling really tired, and all I wanted to do was sleep and all of that. And, finally, of course, it dawned on me, oh, I think you're coming down with a cold. I will say that I am doing a whole lot better right now. And I'm going to tell you what I've been doing to feel better, in fact, it never even really came to a whole full-blown cold. It's like maybe once I realized, oh, I think you're getting sick, I kind of just started doing things, nipped it in the bud, and now I'm on the other side. Like this morning was the first morning I woke up feeling rested and feeling like, yes, I can tell I'm feeling much, much better. Even last night before I went to bed, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this video because of the way I was feeling. But I woke up this morning feeling great, so here I am. Anyway, so I'll get to that in a minute, what I've been doing. And I just wanted to share a little bit about giving ourselves grace. It's so funny because I have talked about this before. I know this, but yet apparently I needed the reminder, right? I don't know what it is. Like, I wake up usually every morning and I have a goal for my day. I have the things I want to do, the things on my list. This is my goal. And I just start going for it. And that is my routine every single day. And so when I have a day where I wake up and I'm just like, I'm dragging, I don't feel good, instead of being like, well, maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you should take a nap. Maybe you should, just relax and take care of yourself today. I don't do that. I start beating myself up and like, what is wrong with me? Anyway, I just wanted to remind everybody again, because like I said, I've talked about this in the past, and it's a reminder for me as well, is let's give ourselves grace. We're not always going to be able to do things at 100%. We're not going to always be perfect. We're not going to be able to stay on top of everything. Life happens, things happen, whether it's getting sick or something outside of our control. Outside things happen, and we don't get that to-do list done, and we don't take care of this or that, or clean the house, or we're behind on the laundry. Give ourselves grace, because life happens, and it doesn't take that long to jump back on track once we are feeling better, or once the situation that we're dealing with is over. So that's my reminder for myself and for you ladies today. Give ourselves grace when it's needed. So with the change of the weather, which is what I think kind of brought this on, I just feel like that's why I started coming down with something. That isn't really uncommon, and I thought, well, we're going into kind of cold and flu season. So I just want to share a few things that I did once I determined, yes, I'm not feeling well, so I'm coming down with something. I started doing these things immediately and literally started seeing results very quickly. I can't say immediately, but I started seeing results very, very quickly. Of course, number one in my mind is always staying hydrated. It's good to keep our system very well hydrated when we're not feeling well, as with any other time, but even more so when we're not feeling well, and to drink teas or whatever it is that we can get that fluid into our system. And so that was, of course, what I immediately started doing. The other one, because it was a cough and it was congestion, of course, there's a lot of over-the-counter remedies. I've always tended to like to draw towards more natural things as my first line of defense. If that doesn't work or isn't successful, then I will go ahead and do the over-the-counter. But the very first thing that I got out when this happened was, I brought it over here so I could show it to you guys, was Mullein. Mullein leaf extract is amazing, and I've used it in the past. I had a daughter that had chronic bronchitis and as a child, and we were constantly in the doctors getting antibiotics. And so I started, there was mullein along with some other things in it, which at this point, it's been so many years I don't remember. I just researched it at the time. Which was a book in the library, that's how long ago it was, and found several herbs that I made into a very strong tea, drained those, added some honey to that, froze them, and I would just defrost that and give it to her. And I got her through a bout of bronchitis without antibiotics, and she never got it again. So I'm a big fan of herbs. They don't always work, and you know, that's understandable, and you need to do a lot of research so you know what you're doing. But to me, herbs are always going to be my go-to front line when I feel like I've got something going on. Anyway, so I started doing a dropper full of this tincture. I just put it right under my tongue, and I started doing that twice a day, and really literally I started in the morning, and by afternoon, I could tell my congestion had started to clear up. I was coughing up things productively rather than just cough, cough, cough. And that was really, really nice. So I knew I was on the right track. The other thing I do, which is my first line of defense as well, is I start making myself garlic, lemon, honey tea. And that may sound like, ugh, but no, it is actually really good, and I can tell a difference immediately when I do this. That is why this morning, I'm not drinking coffee. I did have a cup of coffee earlier, but usually I'm in Coffee with Crystal, I'm drinking coffee. But because of this today, even though I'm feeling better, I'm just kind of continuing my program. What is so great about this garlic lemon tea, honey tea, is that you literally can have everything in your house at any moment. Like the first sign that you're getting sick, you can just go in and make it. And it works very well. At least in my experience, it has always worked for me. I used to give it to my kids, and even they would drink it. It didn't seem to bother them. You know, the lemon is a little bit tart. The honey helps take that away. And of course, there's the garlic, which doesn't really come across hugely strong. But I wrote down the properties of each of those three items. And I'm also showing you, I made some, when I went to make this, I went ahead and filmed that so I could show you how I do it. So all three of these ingredients will help improve your symptoms. Nothing really cures a cold. You just have to kind of work through it. You might be able to accelerate the healing process with a lot of these, because a lot of these things will boost your immune system. But the lemon juice is high in vitamin C, and which, of course, you know, everybody talks about the common cold. What do? You take some extra vitamin C. The lemon juice has that in it. Also, lemon juice will help with congestion. It goes in and helps break everything up in your head and your nose and whatnot. So it definitely helps with that. Now, garlic is known to boost your immune system. So garlic is amazing in what it can do in its healing properties. It's considered to be antiviral, antibacterial. So no matter what you're doing, garlic is a good thing. However, in order to release all the good things about garlic, it needs to be chopped up. It needs to be chopped or sliced, and it must be fresh garlic, not powdered garlic or anything like that. And honey, besides making the tea a little bit sweeter, it helps with any sore throats. It also helps with a lot of other common cold symptoms. And as I said, these all help improve. They don't cure it, but do your research so that you know what you're doing. And but for me, this has always been safe, and it's been easy, and I've given it, like I said, to all my kids, and I take it quite often. So basically, I begin by chopping up my garlic, peeling that. Now, the amount of garlic you use is really up to you. I use 2 really large cloves in this. If my cloves are smaller, I might use 3 or 4. And I chop that all up, put that into my cup. I measure out a tablespoon of lemon juice and a tablespoon of honey. Super simple. Then I put all that in the cup and fill my cup up with hot boiling water and stir that around to dissolve all the honey, and that's it. That's all there is to it. And it is, I noticed that the garlic by itself, just, you know, because I can feel it, you know, taste it, whatnot, but it opens up your sinuses like nobody's business. I was always shocked. So, you know, when you're just not feeling it, the head is hurting, the nose is plugged, the chest is congested, you're coughing, make yourself a cup of honey lemon garlic tea. And yes, you know, your breath is going to smell like garlic. There's no way around that. One of the things I always found interesting about garlic when I did a lot of research on it, that people tend to want to buy the garlic that is odorless, like garlic capsules or garlic tablets or something like that, to help boost their immune system and get through things like the cold. But the very properties that make garlic so strong in taste is the exact properties that are building your immune system, fighting those viruses and bacteria and that type of stuff. So if you go for the odorless, the tasteless type thing, you're not going to get the good properties that you really are trying to get from the garlic. And the garlic that's left at the bottom of the cup when you're done with your tea, you can do whatever you want. You can chew it and eat it. You can throw it in the garbage. It's really up to you. You've gotten a lot of the properties out of it due to the hot water and the chopping and all that. Anyway, those are basically the only two things that I started doing. And right away, like I said, within 24 hours, I could tell I was on the other side of this, which means that it never really developed into this big full-blown cold. And also, as I said, today I'm up and I'm going and I'm feeling a whole lot better. All right, ladies, I have something really fun to share with you before I end this video. If you are following me on Instagram, I post a lot in the daily stories. I'm trying to get better about posting reels, but I only have so much time, so I do the best I can. But in any case, I have been sharing about the deer that come on our property a lot. So now that I don't have grandkids living here, we don't have a dog, we don't have a lot of activity going on like we did for all the years, the deer are making more and more of an appearance on our property instead of being scared off by noises and stuff like that. And we are loving it. It is so fun. And so we often will get the deer coming through the property over the into summer, and still they will stop at the old apple tree down there and munch on any apples that have fallen. And they like to walk around the pond, and sometimes they'll make their way up the driveway, and sometimes they head on up into the woods more. But at any rate, the other day my husband walked out the door, and there were two little bucks in our in the area right outside the door. And he almost walked right up to one. They did not seem too scared of us, which was kind of cute. And so he went in and got an apple, and he will do that to the other deer that come too. Occasionally he'll throw them an apple or something. Anyway, he went in and got an apple and threw that, and they ate that, and they definitely like that. And then they left. And then a few days later, what do you know? Here they are again. And now they're coming in there in the front yard, and they're eating the blackberry bushes. They're nibbling on the grass. And they're obviously boys. They both have horns and or antlers. And so I decided, well, this is your second appearance. I think I need to name you, right? So I named them Bert and Ernie after the Sesame Street characters, you know. Anyway, and so it has been so sweet to just see that they'll just be hanging out under the trees or walking through the yard. They don't seem to be too uptight about us. If I walk out on the deck when they're there, they'll look up and, you know, I'm like, well, hello. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, so I just wanted to share that little bit of video and just tell you about our deer journeys this summer and fall, and I'm sure they'll continue. And like I said, if you follow me on Instagram, you can see some of that. I've posted individual stories too about, or individual reels about my deer. And every day on Instagram, I kind of try, sometimes I miss a day here and there, but I kind of try to just give a quick, you know, say hello to you guys that way. I post a daily story And in that, I start with the day of the week and then show you a view from my deck that day. And then I'll throw in snippets about things that I've been doing, or encouraging quotes, or anything that I think, you know, what fruit is in season and what type of things, you know, do for this and that. Whatever I just have an interest in that day. They're not long, they're really short little stories, but I do try to touch base with you guys in that way. So if you haven't signed up for or followed me on Instagram, and I don't know if you sign up. Do you sign up? I'm not sure how it works. Whatever, you just hit follow. And my account is public there, so you can check in with me. Please do, if you have an Instagram account. Now, I know a lot of people don't, and that is okay too, and I totally understand that. So again, we all have only so much time, but it's one of those things that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy touching base. It's an easy way also to message me. There's a message, a way that you can leave me a message there. And so that makes it easy. And I've heard from so many of you, and it's just so sweet, and I appreciate that part of it too. Okay, ladies, since I'm finally feeling good today, I'm going to go in and at least try to run a load of laundry or two and do a little pickup and clean up here and there. We'll see. I don't know how much farther I can get than that. My hubby is running some errands in town. Didn't really want to do that today, so he went off to do that. He mentioned maybe bringing home a pizza, so that would even be better. Then I wouldn't have to cook tonight, but we'll see. Whatever works. If not, maybe I'll make a pot of chicken noodle soup. Another great remedy for those common colds. Anyway, I hope that you ladies have a very blessed day today, a wonderful weekend and week ahead, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.